I think Paul George wants to win as well.
If he wanted to win, he would have went. He want that bag.
No, because he could have got that same money from Indiana, but he wanted to get traded from there. So I don't think it's all about the money. I think he definitely want to win. I just think that like the allure of the Lakers just isn't as great as people try to make it. Like LeBron went there. Like I said it on Twitter. I said it. I've been saying it. LeBron going to the Lakers was 100% business and family oriented move. LeBron definitely still wants to win, and I'm pretty sure he's hoping that Magic and Pelinka can build a championship team around him. But his number one priority when he went to the Lakers wasn't to win a championship.
No, I don't believe that.
I 100% agree. I 100% believe it.
He's a basketball player first. He's always said that.
Yeah, that's cool. He can say what he wants.
He wants more chips.
He may want more chips, but what he did didn't prove it, in my opinion. Because to me, if he wanted to go win more championships, he could have went to Philadelphia, who has a way better core and a better roster than the Los Angeles Lakers do. This past offseason.
Yeah, this year.
Right.
All right, and then,
right. Hold on. Let me finish. He could have went to the Los Angeles Lakers. He could have went to the Houston Rockets, who had a way better roster than the Lakers did. Instead of putting your trust into Magic Johnson and assuming you're going to get more star players to come play with you, that's not guaranteed. What was guaranteed was an established roster in Philly, an established roster in Houston, or he could have stayed in Cleveland, and they could have built a team around him there.
So
I'm just saying there was better options for him to go win a championship. To me, I feel like he did this for his family. He did this for his wife, his kids, and he wants to be a $1 billion athlete. And what better place to do that than Los Angeles?
Houston had to re-sign Chris Paul and him. They would have had to sign him and re-sign Chris Paul. That's too much money. You realize they gave $160 million in 4 years to Chris Paul, right? Mm-hmm. You realize he got $160 million in 4 years at LA, right?
Right.
You realize Harden's getting $40 million, right?
Right.
All right. So Houston's off the table.
Nope, Houston's not off the table because they could have signed LeBron James and they had the bird rights to Chris Paul. They would have had to pay that luxury tax.
Yeah,
they would have had to pay that, but it would have been worth it.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it would have been
not
worth
that.
It. You get a chance
to realize how those luxury taxes work.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I understand.
And it increases tenfold after that. After that first year,
I understand that. But you get a chance to get the best player in the world and arguably the greatest player of all time. That luxury tax is worth it. Mm-mm. And they would have paid that money had he want to go to Houston. They would have figured that shit out.
Not worth it.
They would have figured that shit out.
It's not worth it.
But
it wouldn't have worked out.
Like I said, man, in my opinion, he went to LA 100% business and family oriented. Okay. Winning was second.
All right. Philly? No, wouldn't work.
Why not?
Because who's getting paid next year?
Hold on. So we looking at this Philly roster based on this past offseason, because this is when we didn't have Jimmy Butler.
Right.
This is when we had Ben Simmons still on the rookie contract. This is when Joel Embiid still had his contract. So we have two big contracts, and then we would have go ahead and signed LeBron to the max, and then Ben Simmons is getting paid not this year, but not next year, but the year after that.
Yeah.
So you would have had,
and then so Embiid has to get paid next year.
Embiid already got paid.
How many years he got left?
Embiid just signed a big contract last offseason. So this is his first year of his big contract.
So would it have worked with him stunting Ben Simmons' growth like that?
I don't think it stunts Ben Simmons' growth. I think it helps Ben Simmons, because you get Ben Simmons' game is very similar to LeBron James and the early LeBron James, in which he runs the floor really well. He plays great defense. He's a great facilitator. Now Ben Simmons is better with the ball in his hand, definitely, but Ben Simmons does a lot of stuff without the ball in his hands in terms of setting screens, cutting to the basket, and being able to take that burden off of him as a secondary ball handler. I think it would have benefited Simmons. Plus, you get to learn from literally the best player.
You can get that from anybody.
No, you can't.
You can get a screener from everywhere in the league. 200 players can pick screens.
Listen, you just picked out one thing I just said. I understand that anybody can set screens, but not everybody can set screens and then attack the basket like Ben Simmons can. And on top of that, run a fast. Can you imagine that fast break with LeBron? Hold on. Can you imagine that fast break with LeBron James and Ben Simmons? Could you imagine that pick and roll with LeBron James and then Joel Embiid?
It wouldn't work.
It's easy to say that, but they will make that work.
In my opinion, it would not work.
Why not?
Because that's the type of player that he is. He's basically going to nullify his game. You see what he did to Lonzo Ball this year? He almost nullified his game.
Lonzo Ball is just trash.
All right, but you see what he did last year versus what he's doing this year.
Yeah, he was trash last year. He's a better defender.
How was he trash? He almost averaged. He averaged like what 11, 7,
Listen,
and 9.
I like Lonzo.
Not trash.
I like Lonzo Ball, but Lonzo Ball
that's counting stats, and he's getting stats, and he's a better defender this year. So you can't call him trash overall. Like
Lonzo's trash.
He's getting his game is getting completely overshadowed by LeBron. It's not his fault.
I don't think his game is getting
effect.
overshadowed by LeBron. I just think that Lonzo Ball just isn't as good as people try to hype him up to be.
You can't watch his games from last year and then watch his games from this year and feel like he's been able to grow. You can't say that. You literally can't watch their games this year and say, "Oh, he's growing as a player." You can say he's growing defensively because I don't see him put clamps on a few people.
Yeah, he's a very good defensive guard.
But you can't say his offensive game has grown with LeBron, which hasn't happened.
Hold on. He's a very good offensive guard. Excuse me. And he has very good court vision. He's a very good passer. He really can't score. He attacks the rim decently. He doesn't finish at the rim that well, as a lot of people demise. He can't shoot, and he shoots 42% from the free throw line.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now, Ben Simmons, if you want to try to put him in that role, Ben Simmons obviously can't shoot, but he literally does everything else better than Lonzo Ball.
I just don't. Well, he can't shoot, period.
Right.
So,
right. So Ben Simmons definitely would have to develop that jump shot. But that LeBron,
he can't shoot at all.
I don't think LeBron James would have been a hindrance on Ben Simmons. I think he would have got better. Obviously, he wouldn't have like the same numbers that he's putting up, but it makes us a better team. That's just my whole argument. But we got completely off track on that one there.
Yeah, it happens. It's the LeBron effect.
Yeah, LeBron. But yeah, back to my original point. The Lakers, I don't think are getting anybody this offseason. But yeah,
they gotta get at least one.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, that's the biggest loser. And then before we talk about the biggest winner, I do want to give a word real quick from one of our local supporters, My Little Kitchen. So, Valentine's Day next week, right around the corner. And what is a better gift for your sweetheart than some tasty sweets? You like that one? Y'all thinking about that all day. This is what I want to talk about, My Little Kitchen. This is a local baking business ran by Niagara Falls' own Brittany Pettigrew, and she is legit. Trust me on this one, guys. So if you're looking to, have a nice little tasty treat after dinner where you can have like some cheesecake, some cake, some pies, some cupcakes, cookies, whatever you're interested in, definitely hit her up. Very reasonable priced, very delicious treats. I'm like firsthand experience. I'm having her make me a cheesecake, red velvet cake type. I seen it on Facebook. She posted it. I said, I gotta get it. She posts literally all of her cakes and pastries and everything on her Facebook page. You can go take that out. Her name is Brit Pet on Facebook. And everything's homemade. Everything is homemade with fresh ingredients. I'm telling you, you got to try it out. You can see all of her designs on her Facebook page, as I mentioned before. If you want to place an order, you can reach her on Facebook at BritPet. You can email her, britpet26@gmail.com. You can call her, text her. Her phone number, her business card, everything is right on her Facebook page. And right now, if you do hit her up with the promo code SYE, she would definitely take off an additional $5 off of your first order. And that's on top of already reasonable pricing, very reasonable pricing. She's, instead of spending, $20, $20 at cupcakes and cakes and cookies at Walmart and Sam's Club, you can literally support a local black business here and get way better quality treats. So definitely hit her up. Hit her up with the promo code SYE, My Little Kitchen. Let her make your dreams become sweet. You got any plans for Valentine's Day yet?
Nah. Nah, they acting up out here.
Yeah, I hear you.
I can't do nothing with that.
All right, and then let's go ahead and talk about some winners. Some winners of the trade deadline. You want me to go first? You want to go first?
I can go first.
All right, go ahead.
You
know where I'm going.
Philly won. Philly won the
talk that shit. Let them know.
That's about it for that.
Wow.
I mean, for the reasons that we spoke about earlier, I really, although I do hate the move, I do hate it for the player. I do appreciate the fact that they were able to unload the problem child, Markelle Fultz. I do appreciate the fact they were able to add a 20-point scorer to their starting five, which is pretty difficult to do. I'll be honest. I think he was the only 20-point scorer that was even moved throughout the entire trade, quote unquote, trade deadline week. So I definitely can appreciate the moves that their GM made. I'm not sure how much of the future he sacrificed or whatever, but as far as the win now mode, he definitely put them in a quality situation this year with the additions of him and who was that other dude? That's small forward.
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler. Thank you. Another winner, if I had to pick one, probably the Bulls. Man, I really love that addition of Otto Porter Jr. to their team. I'm not sure when they're going to be able to integrate him, but I feel like he's a very good piece that they could use to start a very good nucleus for a potential big three. I really do enjoy that.
Okay.
So those are my two winners.
The winners to me, obviously, Philadelphia 76ers. Like you said, you're able to add a 20-point scorer who was literally the number one option on his previous team. He comes in to be, your third, fourth, fifth option on the current team, and where the championship window in the East is open, like it's there. It's for the taking. And then on top of that, he was able to add some wing depth. The only thing that the Sixers really didn't address just yet was a little bit more shooting off the bench. And, hopefully we take a look at Wayne Ellington, can possibly get him in there. And also a backup point guard. Even though I fucks with TJ McConnell. TJ is my man.
Yeah,
but,
he went to 12.
TJ is definitely a liability on defense. Even though he plays his heart out. He gets up in him. He'll try to check the best guard, but he gets cooked. And he's limited on offense. He has a crazy mid-range game. He can run a decent pick and roll, but he can't shoot for three for shit. So I think if we can take a look at a backup point guard in the buyout market, that'd be something to look at. So the Sixers to me are definitely winners. And also I wanted to address real quick. I know people saying that, we did trade a lot to get these players, Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris over this season, and expiring contracts as well, because both of those players could be expiring contracts. To me, picking up Harris was like a contingency plan for Butler. Because if Butler was to walk, which I think he might, I think Butler could be gone after the season. I think we would resign Tobias Harris. I would bet money that if we was to keep one of the two, Tobias Harris would be a Sixer next year. So a nice little contingency plan for the Sixers. And shout out to Elton Brand, man. First year GM. This dude literally was just suiting up as a basketball player 3 years ago. And comes in and he made some crazy moves to make our Sixers. A lot of people are saying we got the best starting five in the NBA in the Eastern Conference. Excuse me. You have to be determined because we got to see these guys play together, obviously. So I'm not going to jump to conclusions on that one. But on paper, the talent is there. So we'll see. But shout out to Elton Brand for putting these pieces together, and he might be up for Executive of the Year with these moves. So we'll see. So Sixers definitely a winner. To me, this is really the top teams in the East are all winners besides the Celtics. And that's not taking a shout out to Celtics because they didn't make a move. But the Bucks, they made an excellent move for their team to improve with Mirotic, so they get another stretch four out there who actually Mirotic can do more than just shoot. He has decent game. He can get to the rim. He has a decent post-up game, decent rebounder, subpar defender. But what he's going to bring to that Bucks team should definitely help. And then the Raptors, excellent move with Gasol. I fucking hated it because obviously that's one of our main competitors. But excellent move for the Raptors to get Gasol, somebody that can play with Kawhi Leonard, run pick and roll with Kyle Lowry and Leonard, post up, pass out of the post, rebound, defend, and is literally an upgrade at the five. Where they can, what do you think they do with the four? Do you think they move Ibaka to the four? Do you think they bring him off the bench and keep Siakam at the four?
I think Siakam will stay in.
Yeah, I agree. I think because they moved Valanciunas and then they also got rid of Greg Monroe.
Yeah.
So I think they definitely move Ibaka to the five or backup five, and then let him spell both Siakam and then also Gasol. So that was a solid move for the Raptors. And then the only thing, the losers, or not necessarily losers, but the Celtics, I wouldn't say they're winners. It's kind of stayed pack, and their team is there. Like the Celtics, if they think they're figuring it out, they're still a great team, even though they lost today. Shout out to the Lakers. They're still one of the top, three teams in the East. So we should see. We should definitely see what happens for the rest of that season there. But yeah, man, the trade deadline. Yo, I said this on Twitter earlier, and it's kind of a shame. But the NBA trade deadline was literally like 10 times more exciting than the fucking Super Bowl this past Sunday. Like it really was.
We'll get to that tomorrow.
The Super Bowl.
I ain't saying nothing.
Shout out to the NBA is king right now, man. The NBA is